Welcome to the Red, White, and You podcast, the official podcast of your Allen America's professional hockey team. This week, of course, and every week brought to you by Ellen's Restaurant in Allen. If you're going to Ellen's, make sure you try the pancake pot pie. Oh my goodness, is it amazing? It's a deep dish of layered pancakes with maple cream sausage, gravy, bacon, crumbled sausage, toppled by scrambled eggs and melted cheddar cheese. It is to die for. And thank you, Ellen's, for being the lead sponsor here on our Red, White, and You podcast. When we return, we've got two guests today. First of all, the mayor of Tom Bean, Texas, the Honorable Daniel P. Harrison will join us. We'll talk about the parade this week. The holiday parade in Tom Bean, Texas is coming Saturday. And also talk to our friend Mike Holum of Advocacy Behavior Consulting. Mike, of course, a longtime partner and friend of the Allen Americans hockey team, and we'll talk about what they're doing in the community, as well as their involvement on a big holiday promotion that we've got coming up. That's what we continue on the Red, White, You podcast, brought to you by Ellen's, back after this message. Welcome to the Red, White, and You podcast, brought to you each week by Ellen's Restaurant in Allen, and pleased to be joined this morning by the mayor of Tom Bean, Texas. That's Mr. Daniel Harrison. He doesn't look like your average mayor. He looks like he's fresh out of high school. And this Saturday morning at 11 a.m., Tom Bean will be hosting their annual Christmas parade. The Allen Americans will be part of it. Mayor, great to have you on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's exciting. It seems like just yesterday we were there, driving around. We were actually there for the 4th of July parade too. But the one thing I remember about last season, and even the Ice Angels that were there with me, saying, man, this was fun. Everybody was so nice. Everybody in town comes out for the parade, people in their front yard and just having a good old time. And it definitely felt like Christmas in Tom Bean. We're going to have a big showing this week.
It's the parades are my favorite time of the year. And this year is going to be much, much, much bigger than last year's. We've had a lot more time to plan it. We're going to have some vendors from the vendors that have turned in registration forms. I'm told we're going to have, a taco truck. We're going to have a guy barbecuing. We've got some local vendors who set up or who are going to set up, and they sell their specialty pickles, salsas, barbecue sauce. We've got a lady here in town that actually does hand pies. She travels all over the U.S. selling her hand pies, but she lives here in Tom Bean, and she'll be in Tom Bean selling her hand pies this weekend. It's gonna be a very, very big event. We've got a lot of local political leaders, county judges, Senate representatives, and it's going to be a good time.
Well, I can't wait. I'll be there. This will be my second year in a row to be a part of this. We were at the 4th of July parade as well. Obviously, if you look at the early forecast, it looks like it's going to probably be around 50 degrees when we start the parade at 11 o'clock. We know we'll have our mascot Biscuit will be there. He's all excited. He's getting his, as a matter of fact, getting cleaned up and showered up and ready for the parade on Saturday. We'll have 4 of our Ice Angels there. We'll have some candy that we're going to be able to give out to the kids who are standing there and waiting. Who else besides the Allen Americans? And we'll have our 2 classic of Texoma vehicles in the parade, all decorated up. Who else is going to be involved? What can we expect to see in the parade this Saturday in Tom Bean?
Well, I'm glad you actually said it. David Ellis, he's going to have his that old fire truck that he had last year, if you remember.
Oh, loved it. We
took a ton of pictures. It was such an attraction. Everybody loved it. He's supposed to have that back out there. You already touched base on it. The Classic is going to have some vehicles out there. Freedom by Ed Morse, Chrysler dealership, they're going to bring us something. Texoma Buick, GMC, they're going to have some vehicles out there. The sales manager actually is on the city council here in Tom Bean, so he's going to bring some vehicles out. I'm told Lone Star Hauling, the big wrecker service here in Grayson County, is supposed to have something out. As far as the politicians and local leaders, Reggie Smith, Shelley Luther, Bill Majors, Sean Tiemann. He sits on the Sherman City Council. Actually, the city judge, Britton Brooks. He's supposed to be there.
I met him.
Yep. You met him. Yes. Him and Sean Tiemann both, they were there last year. And they'll be back again this year. We've got a ton of people that have called up here asking if they can bring their side-by-sides, their race cars. There's going to be, we've actually got some representatives from the North Texas Shrine Club. They're going to be up here. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a big event. It's going to be an event you don't want to miss.
Below Zero Cryo, whole body cryotherapy stimulates the body's natural healing abilities through exposure to extreme cold. Cryotherapy was developed in Japan in 1978 as a treatment for rheumatoid arthritis. Over the past 3 decades, it's become even more popular as its performance-enhancing and general health and wellness benefits have become more well-known. Call Below Zero Cryo for an appointment today. 469-362-8191. Below Zero Cryo is located at 8715 Lebanon Road, Suite 400 in Frisco. Well, I'm excited, Mayor. The people up there are so friendly. Starting with you, the great mayor of Tom Bean, Texas, who is a hockey fan as well, I might add, and we'll hopefully have a Tom Bean night again this year. I know last year was just kind of growing, and maybe this year we can have a bigger crowd that'll be out for the Tom Bean night. But you don't have to live in Tom Bean, Texas to come to this parade. All folks are welcome. Everybody loves a Christmas parade, and especially in the small towns. I'm telling you, there's nothing better. This is one of the biggest events that happens in Tom Bean all year, correct?
This is it's kind of funny because in the past the parades have always been about 7-8 minutes. Last year we actually had a 22-minute parade, and this year we're shooting for over 30 minutes. So it's definitely my goal, my drive to make this a very big event, make this fun for everyone. Hopefully see some stuff that you don't see every day driving down the road, and just work on bringing the community back together. Absolutely.
Well, let me put us in the lead. I can slow down that parade. I can guarantee I can get it over 30 minutes. It's funny, when we were up in Denison last week, we did our outdoor skate, and we were a part for the first time ever, the Denison parade. And it's funny because the Ice Angels and Biscuit were in front of my vehicle, and they were passing out candy to kids, and everybody wanted to come up and high five Biscuit. And I think we did slow their parade down a little bit. So we can get it over 30 minutes for you, Mayor. That's a guarantee. But man, it sounds like so much fun. The taco truck and barbecue, man, you're making me hungry on this early morning when we record. I can't wait to be up there. And again, thank you for all you do. A great supporter of Allen America's Hockey, and we very much appreciate you invited us to be a part of it again.
Well, I appreciate everything that you and May and everyone else have done. We're going to have K10 News there, so hopefully get the Allen Americans a little bit more exposure as well. But I do appreciate the support and coming out and bringing Biscuits and the Ice Angels and everything that y'all have done for our city and helped us grow. And, hopefully we're mutually benefiting from being able to feed off each other.
Absolutely. So if you're in the neighborhood of Grayson County, and even if you're not, you want to head up to Tom Bean, Texas on Saturday morning. The parade will get underway at 11 o'clock. We're leaving here bright and early at 9 a.m. To head on up and be in line by 10. And, the mayor talked about all the great things that are going to be going on. I'll tell you, that fire truck, I know our Ice Angels last year had a photo opportunity. Ice Angel Hannah, we miss having her. Not a part of the Ice Angels this year, but she loved being able to sit in the front seat of the fire truck and pull the little bell and blow the horn. It was a lot of fun. So come join us this Saturday morning. Again, the parade starts at 11 o'clock in Tom Bean. Some of the nicest people you'll ever meet, from Tim, who will, I'm sure, be in his police car driving around downtown Tom Bean, to the fire truck, to the barbecue, to you name it, we'll have it. Santa Claus going to be there?
Santa Claus will be there in his red Lexus.
Oh my man, Santa is really upgraded.
He's come a long ways.
Yes, he has. That's awesome. Well, Mayor, hey, thank you for doing this. Have a great day, and we will see you on Saturday.
I look forward to it. Thank you.
That's the mayor of Tom Bean, Texas, the Honorable Daniel P. Harrison. And we'll be back with more coming up on the Red, White, U podcast after this.
Get sunshine for the whole squad at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Welcome back to the Red, White, U podcast, brought to you by Ellen's Restaurant here in Allen. And it is good to have my friend Mike Holum on the podcast with us this morning. And of course, all they do, Advocacy Behavior Consulting, ABC, which is back and a great partner of the Allen Americans. And first of all, Mike, welcome back. Happy holidays to you and Deb, and good to see you.
Yes, sir. Good to see you, and thank you for the invite. And been wanting to get on your podcast for a while now. So here we go. I appreciate the invitation and the time.
Absolutely. Well, the one thing that you hear about all these stories of things that happen in schools and disturbing stories, and I know you guys are there to help in these cases. And I think the one thing I love to hear is follow-up stories and hear that, something good has come out of the bad that we hear about in schools, and especially a lot of times with the kids, the special needs kids, and that is very, very disturbing and sad. But I also love to hear about the help that you guys can give. And I understand there were a couple of stories that directly came from hearing things with the Allen Americans.
Absolutely. Actually a game that you guys had back in November where you had invited a group from a school district, somewhat north of us. And just happened to be a family member watching one of those students engaged in that event. And they heard of us. And unfortunately, they were in the midst of a little bit of a situation with the school district regarding a young child. And thankfully, based on them hearing literally your voice, they reached out to us that next Monday, and by that Wednesday we were able to help them and get them obviously on the right track, and to help the school district to kind of follow the rules and regulations that they're supposed to follow. And then actually just last week, again, we had another engagement that was very similar, and another district to the east of us, and again, in the middle of a little bit of a battle. And this is kind of a difficult time, Tommy, for schools, in that when you start school in August, coming to, obviously late September, October, that's review of the last year. And then in mid-October, the pace and rigor of the curriculum, I don't care what grade, picks up and speeds up. And so that's new learning for students. And so sometimes that exacerbates a hidden disability for a child. So in that event, same deal. Unfortunately, that child was going to be disciplined for some manifestations of their disability, and we were to intervene and get some other testing done so that the school district and their personnel could know exactly how to treat that child. So, and another thing I want to tell you about what you had said in the beginning there, Tommy, is I don't think anybody intentionally goes out to try and violate rights or policies, procedures. I think they're doing the best they can. I believe in public education. I don't want people to be afraid. These are really one-offs. I bring them to your attention because I wanted to alert you that the advertising that we're engaging with the Allen Americans is working. We're getting new engagements. Tommy, something else for us to celebrate for ABC. We just opened up in the state of California.
Wow.
So that's our 8th state.
Holy cow. So it's not just Texas, and I knew you guys were growing, but that's amazing that now you've covered 8 states, and I'm sure by the end of the year, when we have another chat at some point here, you'll have added more. What's the goal, Mike, for you and Deb? And I know you do a lot of traveling and going around to help people. And the one thing I will say about Mike is there's not a more generous man that you're going to meet out there than Mike Holum. A lot of times, a lot of these cases that he works on, he doesn't receive a dime for, but that's what he and his wife do. They're out to help people, and he's helped people, fans of the Allen Americans, that it just come across Mike and Deb and in what they do, and I think that's an amazing story. And anytime you're doing something like that, and I know Deb's been was a teacher for a long time before you guys got involved with what you do now. But it's a great thing because you know what? During the holiday season, we think about helping people, those in need, whether it's a new toy, like a Toys for Tots program we did last week, which, by the way, Advocacy Behavior Consulting was a part of that. Every group that came by to donate toys receive 4 ticket vouchers to a future Allen Americans game, courtesy of Advocacy Behavior Consulting. So, you guys are always working to make things happen and help people, and that is a great thing.
Yeah, with special education in Section 504 of the Disability Act, there's no boundary. There's not a state boundary. So when I say we're opening up in other states, yeah, we're opening up. We're gaining clients there and so forth. And you're right, Tommy. The advocacy for us, Debbie and I will tell you that it's a ministry. To be honest, it truly is a ministry. And we know that in helping that one child in a district, is those educators get exposed to that advocacy as well. And again, it's a collaboration. We're not there to beat them up. We're not there to, we want to point out the things that are wrong, which we all as human beings would want to know what we're doing wrong so that we can fix it. And so there is really no telling in the 10 years that we've been doing this. Shockingly, I've had people come up to me and say, "Oh, you're with ABC." Oh, it really is amazing, and it's in a heartfelt thank you to the Allen Americans for helping to spread that word and get us involved with the team again. And Tommy, if I can help, I mean, I say this all the time, if I can help one child, I've done what I'm supposed to do. And that's Absolutely. That's what advocacy is, right? Is just one person at a time. But that spider webs out to many. Received a phone call from a special education director from a district having a hard time with a particular case. And so from the district side, they engage us to ask for help because they know our expertise is there. And so that's another side of this business that we have that. And then Tommy, I think you and I have talked about this before, but we're also perform as expert witnesses in court cases as well. So
hello, Americans fans. Former American defenseman Nolan Dakota here with a message from FastSigns in Plano. Both Plano locations are independently owned and operated by myself and are proud partners with the Americans for this season and the Americans Drive for 5. At FastSigns, we understand the burden this difficult time presents on businesses, and helping you to solve your changing visual communication and business challenges is our commitment. Mention this ad when you call FastSigns in Plano for 10% off your next order. FastSigns, more than fast, more than signs.
If somebody knows about a case and they've heard you talk before about this, we've talked about it a lot of times on the broadcast, over the years, and but there's new cases every single day. So if you're aware of something going on and you need some help, some counseling, how can somebody get in touch with you to ask for advice, find out if there actually is a case to be had, and how can they reach you in depth?
Well, obviously, www.advocacybehaviorconsulting.com. We do an initial consultation that's free of charge, an hour. We kind of have a policy internal that is, we won't end that conversation without giving you something which would be your next step. And when you talk about cases, unfortunately, it's not the cases because of the schools aren't necessarily doing wrong. A lot of the things that we're involved with, Tommy, is that there's a misunderstanding and it's kind of its own language, special education itself. And so with that, again, I don't want to put the number that a case is the district doing something wrong. It's just being able to help that parent navigate the school system so that they can make the best out of the educational opportunities for their child. And so with that, call. Again, it doesn't cost you anything for that first call. If we can give you some advice that's going to help you before you engage us, with our fee structure, then we'll help you with that. But I don't want to say that we're a nonprofit. That would be disingenuous. But I'll tell you that we're really a not-for-profit. And Tommy, as we've talked about before, we obviously, you see ink printer back here, the ink, all the supplies and things that we have to use in order to effectively do our job, and more so today because of the COVID pandemic, and we don't travel as much as we were going to these states. We were able to go in via Zoom. There's pluses and minuses to that, but sure. That being said, we don't really gain a profit. If I could break down a case for you, and show you how many hours that we put into that case for the fees that we collected, we're working for pennies, Tommy.
Well, you know what? That's one of the amazing things about, there's a lot of people out there in this world that do good things and do it for the reward. And I know you and Deb do that because you like helping people, and that's a great thing. And you also, I might add, have some exciting things with the Allen Americans coming up. One that's not been announced, one that has. I know your other company, you've got a lot of things going on in your life, my friend. But your other company recently involved in part one of our, getting people ready for the holiday season. We've done this in the past. We're going to bring this back this year, where we will deliver snow to one lucky Allen Americans house. And we've already got part one of that done. Is the lighting, decorating has been done courtesy of your other company.
Yeah, the Other Side Landscaping. Again, just trying to spread some cheer for the holiday, and of course, as you know, the contest was a write-in contest that obviously give us your quirkiest or your best story about the holiday season, and so we've already installed those lights. They look amazing. The recipient, I know, has been elated. Had never done that to their home before, and is very proud. And we're very happy to spread that cheer, particularly in the holiday season. And to be honest, the winner couldn't be a better recipient of that, and certainly a staunch, if you will, season ticket holder to the Allen Americans, and certainly she's there through thick and thin. So
yeah, we're excited to dump that snow a little bit closer to Christmas. And gosh, with the temperature today being in the mid 70s as we record this, it doesn't feel like Christmas, but I live in an apartment. I've been there for 13 years since I've worked for the team, and I look at some of the apartments around the complex and the extreme decorating they've done, and I thought, man, my little patio just looks so poor compared to what some other people have done. But even if it's 75 degrees outside, seeing those Christmas lights and those decorations, they really put you in the spirit, much like being a part of the Toys for Tots last Friday at my community credit union, and just seeing the people that drop by and helping to stuff that big box with toys. It means a lot because every child deserves to have toys on Christmas, and having some little grandkids who love toys, and I couldn't imagine them without toys on Christmas. But there are unfortunately some kids who will wake up this Christmas without, and that's the reason why Toys for Tots is so big. And again, thanks to you and Deb for your generosity in helping to make sure that everybody who donated toys last week was able to get 4 vouchers to a future Allen Americans game. I miss anything?
No, I think you got it. Just we're very honored to be part of that. The ability to participate in the Toys for Tots, and certainly there's been a longevity of that going on with the Marines for a long time. So with that, Tommy, I think Again, we really appreciate everything that the Allen Americans have been doing with us. Again, the success stories. I want you guys to know that our engagement for you on the marketing side is working, and
good.
we want it to continue to work. And again, if your listeners have anybody out there that they know is struggling with maybe some issues with the school, and it doesn't necessarily have to be special ed, okay? But they have a question about something. If we can't answer it, I can certainly put you in the direction of someone who can. And with that, Tommy, I wish you and all the All-American fans a very Merry Christmas. Hope that it's festive for everybody. And looking for, I know we got a new player came into town.
Yeah, he will join the team in Wichita for the game, coming up. We've got two as we record this on this Thursday, a game tonight, and then of course one on Friday night in Wichita, and then back home on Sunday afternoon at 4:05. But yeah, new player Luke Henman. He hasn't played a bunch this year with Charlotte, but if you look at his numbers coming out of juniors last year, boy, big numbers, 43 points in 32 games. That's pretty good numbers. So excited to have Luke coming in, and hopefully, much like Ryan Lowen did when he came in early in the year, and Antoine Bebeau, that help through the relationship with Seattle is paying off.
Yep, got to keep cracking.
There you go. And I think that is an ender, my friend. I think that's a great way to end. Thanks to Mike Holum, Deb Hullum from Advocacy Behavior Consulting. Again, if you have a situation and have not spoken up about it, make sure you contact Mike. Again, as we close out here, Mike, one last time, the address
is advocacybehaviorconsulting.com.
There you go. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Deb. And we'll see you hopefully at the game this weekend. This brought to you, of course, by our friends at Ellen's. Man, some great food right around the corner from the CUTX Arena off Highway 75 in Allen. Make sure you stop by Allen's today and tell them you heard this on the Allen Americans Red, White, and You podcast. For Mike Holum, Tommy Daniels saying so long. We'll talk to you next week on the Red, White, and You podcast.